Hey there, gorgeous ones, and welcome to day 17 of the Choosing Love Over Fear challenge that I am completing. Thank you so much for showing up yet again. I'm squeezing these messages in wherever I can possibly do it. And today's message is one that I just want to share something that's really come through for me in my own personal journey. And it's been revolutionary. I've only been practicing it for about the last 4 days now, but I'm practicing it. And as you guys know, what I love more than anything about sharing with you is really just me testing out, being the human guinea pig of all things personal development, expansion, awareness, all of those great things, so that we can get to know who it is that we are and how we want to live our lives, and get beyond kind of that hamster wheel of existence where we're in confusion, we're in delusion, all of that stuff. So it's really just about waking up to our own reality and getting to a place of knowingness that can only be accessed through our own personal direct experiences. So everything that I share with you guys is really coming from my own personal direct experience. It's not something that I'm trying to get you to believe or just take on as your own without having your own experience. Everything that I do is really so that I can just share through my experience in the hope that it'll spark something within you to go on your own kind of human guinea pig journey and test things out for yourself and, become kind of an expert within your own system, so that you can experience freedom and that you can direct your life as you would choose to. All right, so quick hey to DB, good to have you, my friend, and Hattie's in the house. I love it. So good to see you guys. Please do play along at home. I love seeing your comments. I love your shared wisdom. I love questions. If you have any on mind or anything that relates to these topics, please do engage. I absolutely love getting to connect with you guys. And so it's not just me talking to a screen, but I'm actually getting to know you guys as well. So let me dive into it. Today, I'm going to share my experience with this topic, which is to practice the experience of your highest state of being. Now, this actually came through for me on Monday. Monday, my time here in Australia, and I was sitting down as I usually do, doing my journaling, and basically what happened for me was I just start, as I do every morning, I just let whatever's going to come through for me come through. And what came through for me was basically I was kind of focusing on how do I get into flow? That was what was coming through for me. I was just focusing on what am I doing in my life right now that puts all my parts in sync, so that I can just have that, that feeling of when you've been in the moment, like when you're really in flow, like where you lose track of time and, your biological needs and all the rest of it. And you're just so involved and immersed in the moment of whatever you're doing, right? And I was kind of just piecing things together and getting clarity over that and seeing what works. And again, kind of being the human guinea pig of this stuff within my own system. And then the question came through. I'm looking down because I've got my journal here, because I just want to touch base with some of the things that came through and share some of the questions I was asking myself, because it might actually help you and you might be inspired to actually ask these questions of yourself. But basically I asked myself, well, what makes my heart sing and my life full, right? That question came through and I just started listing all this stuff, right? I was like, well, love does, kindness, care, genuineness, unconditional inclusivity and love, awe, beauty, openness, realness, hugs, harmony, sunshine, storms, warm breezes, crisp cold air, mountains, valleys, leaves falling. I was watching a leaf fall at the time and I was getting a bit mesmerized. I often look like a crazy person on the street when I'm at a cafe and I'm in my journaling zone and I'm accessing like awe and inspiration that makes my eyes water, and but that's life, and I don't really care, because I feel so good, right, when I'm accessing that level of life. Energy, vibrance, depth, insight beyond words, right? Like that real knowingness. And what came through is that last word that just like landed for me was oneness. Okay, so that just showed me, it was like, oh, oneness. Like when that word came through, it was like all of those other words, all of those other states of being are actually just leading me towards that oneness experience, that unity with everyone and everything, no separation, just in that state of bliss for me, of oneness, right? Of just unquestionable, unshakable unity with it all at once, right? And it was like, oh wow, like that's it, right? And it triggered this within me that was like, oh, maybe I'll revisit, my values a little bit and see like what's shifted, what's my hierarchy, because it was always at the top of my list of values with depth of love and connection, right? And to me, that's now like through my own experience with oneness, with these other experiences, it's like, oh no, that is all encompassing, right? And so on my next page, I'm like, okay, I'm going to visit my list of values, and maybe you have your own list of values. This is something that we all do in the personal development realm, right? We want to get to know who we are based on what our hierarchy of values are, and living in our own values and being clear on what those are. And so I put it at the top of the page, oneness, and I was thinking something, the others are going to stack below that. But yeah, like what came through for me was my purpose is to really open my heart and experience oneness with all of life, right? And I put oneness at the top of the page, expecting this flow of values to come down. And what I found was there was nothing that wasn't inclusive in oneness, right? Like all the other values that I'd think I'd want, right? Like I was like, well, that is love. Like that's inclusive of love. That's awe. That's unity. That's that shared knowingness beyond words, right? And as I was going through that, I was like, okay, like it was just solidifying in my own system. The value of that experience of oneness is everything to me. It's the underpinning to everything I ever do in my life, right? It's all for that end result of experiencing oneness. And we've all got our own. So my question for you is, what is the driving force behind everything that you do in your life? Now, if you're watching these messages, my guess is that you're not someone who's mindlessly living their lives. You are deepening your level of awareness and consciousness. And so you're not in the group of people who are just completely stuck in habitual patterns and left unquestioned and just living that kind of cookie cutter lifestyle that's been passed on through the generations without expansion or evolution, right? My guess is that you're somebody that is absolutely deepening in your own awareness, and you're taking step by step, developing a life for yourself and a pathway of life that's becoming more and more conscious and more designed from that conscious place, rather than defaulting into the memories of the past, basically, right? And so my question for you is, what is driving that? Really take some time to explore that question I asked myself. What makes my heart sing and my life full, right? And just start brainstorming it out. Just list it all out and see what lands for you. At the end of all that, can you get to a place where you can sum it up? And look, I'm not saying that we're all able to just like instantly get to that place. I feel like this has been a working journey for me for at least, my entire life, basically, but intensely and consciously focused on personal development, since 2012. So, only 12 or 13 years it's coming into that I've really embodied this work in a really conscious way. But that's a lot of time, right? So maybe you're not going to get to that one place, like that oneness experience that encompasses everything for me in my life right now. Maybe you do need to start more with that list of the values. Or if you've done a lot of values work in the past, can you simplify it? Can you go back to it now as the being that you are now, with your new experiences, with your new levels of awareness and wisdom? And can you get to know what's at the heart of that even more, right? And so going to that place and asking yourself those questions. And something that I'll do is I'll put a post out on this topic with some good journaling prompts for you guys, for any of you who want to go a bit deeper and explore this for yourself. Because when I got to that place and I realized at the basis of all I do, right, why I'm in relationship, why I choose the friendships that I do, why I do this work, why I'm a coach, why I love doing all the bits and pieces in terms of what I love learning about and experimenting with. At the end of the day, it is all to experience a state of unity, a state of oneness, a state beyond duality and separation. And I've had so many beautiful tastes of that. It's just like, whoa, that's it. That's my drug of choice, right? And even before I was into personal development, I can reflect back and I can still see this underlying tie to it all that's just wanting unity, just wanting that oneness experience beyond separation, beyond judgment, that all inclusivity, right? That overwhelming sense of just love and awe that is beyond words, right? And so I realized that, well, if that's what it is, if that is the underpinning of my existence, then why on earth, if that's what makes my life full and my heart sing, why would I not bring that into my everyday existence with a practice? And so that's what I started doing. Just randomly, I found this song came through on some of the music that I listen to when I'm journaling, and it just woke up something in my heart. I could feel how much this song was just made from this place of oneness and unity and all-inclusive love. And it just moved my heart and me so much that I was like, that's it. That's how I'm going to incorporate this into my own practices to embody the experience of oneness. And so, as you guys know, if you're following these messages, you know that I've been doing some work from Sadhguru. I've been doing his online course, and I did his live course, and basically I'm now practicing his spiritual practice to basically that's what brought on the challenge, right? There was a 40-day challenge. We practiced this 40-minute practice twice a day for 40 days. And then beyond that, you go once a day for 6 months or whatever you're called to, right? But when I am doing that practice, it's starting more and more to open me up energetically, to put my whole physical, mental, emotional, and energetic bodies into alignment. And what I've started doing is playing this song that resonates so deeply with that state of being of oneness for me. And if you guys are interested, I can share it in the comments and you can check it out and see if it resonates with your heart as well. It's so good. But basically, I now have started playing this song at the end of this practice and meditation, and just fully allowing my entire system to experience that oneness state of being, my higher state of being, the fuel source driving everything that I do in my life, whether I'm conscious of it or not at the time. I'm actually embodying that for the 15 or so minutes that song goes. And every day I'm accessing the depths of it. I'm practicing it in my system. not with this like hard ass, oh, I've got to do this thing so I can experience it, but actually just this gift that I'm giving to myself. Because why would we rob ourselves of the opportunity to experience that which we've made our entire existence about? All that driving force behind what we do, why we choose the relationships we do, why we choose the work that we do, why we do the certain things that we do each and every day. There is some driving force there for you. It's unique to you. And when you can uncover what that is, and then pull it into your everyday existence, right? Like, why wouldn't we? Instead of trying to get there from some secondary source, right? Some indirect route, oftentimes unconsciously with the things that we're doing every day, projecting some goal into the future that never yet exists, right? All we have is this present moment. Why would we not get clear on what that is and bring it into our everyday existence and amplify it, right? If this is sounding something that you might want to learn more about, I do recommend Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, and in particular his meditative processes. They're so good for rewriting how you want to experience your life and practicing it. But I find personally, if you can find your own personal experience that resonates deeply with you, then that's what you need to practice. And yes, it might take a bit of work to actually clarify and get in sync with, but I'm telling you now, it is so worth discovering what that driving force is for you, your highest state of being that you yearn for and is the driving force behind everything that you do. And then not just putting it out there in some external future experience based on all these actions that you're consciously or unconsciously doing, but actually bringing it as a practice into your life. That might incorporate music to access that, like it does for me. I'm a very auditory kind of person and a visual person, right? And so whatever it is for you, finding those strategies to really embody it and practice it. And I'm on the journey right now. I told you I started this on Monday. I'm just going to keep practicing it. I'll keep reporting with you guys, but so far, every single day, getting to practice a real deep state of oneness, being moved by this piece of music, embodying it fully. I'm talking like I'm streaming with tears, just in complete bliss, joy, oneness experience. My system is just feeling better and better. And when I say better, I just mean in alignment, just radiating with beautiful energy, right? Like, that's not devoid of reality. Like, it's fully present. It's not, escaping reality and not dealing with the tough and challenging things in our lives. It's actually being way more present to it all. It's just not getting stuck in lopsided perspectives that it's all bad. It's actually finding the beauty, finding the gift in it all, with seeing it fully, right? And then immersing myself as the greatest act of self-love in the state of being that makes my life fullest and makes my heart sing loudest. All right, and I'd love that for you as well. So I will do a post with some journaling prompts on this exact topic. I'd love to hear from you guys, and if I can support you on this journey, this is so meaningful for how you are living your life. Please do reach out to me and see how I can support you. That is what I do. That's my gift to you. All right, let me check in with you guys, see who's been here, and please do drop me any comments. Check in and share your words of wisdom, any questions you might have, just anything. I love connecting with you guys. So yes, hello to DB and Hanny and Susanna and Jux. And DB, watching the wind blowing in the trees. Yeah, I am so into that. And, a few months ago, I moved up here to beautiful Noosa in Queensland, Australia. And it is just so filled with just gorgeous nature, like tropical trees and nature and wildlife. And so I'm just in this beautiful spot in the river and the ocean, and I live across the road from a lake. It's gorgeous, so whatever moves you. Nature is such a great access point. So I'm with you, DB. Some of my most moving experiences have been literally just watching the wind in the tree. You know, when we get outside of all the mind-made chatter and stuff, and we can just be present to reality, like we wake up to just how beautiful, like, all of life is, right? And so, yeah, love your connection in through that lens of nature. It's one of the best pathways in, absolutely. And Linda's here as well. Good to see you. And DB, sunset at the beach, listening to the waves and the birds. Boom, you took me there. I absolutely love that. There's just so much, right? So it's so good to have these access points, and then to go, what is the emotional state that I get access to when I'm experiencing those things, right? When I am in that sunset at the beach, listening to the waves and the birds, what am I experiencing in that moment, right? Is it awe? Is it bliss? Is it oneness? Is it just whatever it is for you, right? Like accessing that, realizing what that emotional state is, that chemical reaction happening within you, right? And then looking at ways you can bring that into your everyday existence and practice that state of being so that you can live more fully in the exact way that you're wanting to, that's the driving force behind all that you do. So love those examples so much, DB. Thank you so much for contributing and showing up. Always appreciate you. And Jeff's here as well. And Bill, thanks for the soul smart wisdom. You're always welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for showing up, and I always appreciate your contributions as well, Bill. So that is my message for you guys. I really do hope that it resonates with you just through me sharing from my personal direct experience. As I said, I'll get a post out with some journaling prompts with you for you guys. But really, what's more important than accessing the very state of being that is the driving force behind everything that you've chosen to do in your life? Build the conscious awareness around what that is and bring it into your practices, bring it into your moment and embody it until it really does become your go-to foundational default state of being, so that you can move through the world as the beautiful being that you are without all the limitations and restrictions and the handballing of your fulfillment to some future self that doesn't exist. You're here, you're right now. So you might as well build that conscious awareness around that state of being and bring it into your reality as the greatest gift of self-love you could offer yourself ever. All right? And you are absolutely deserving and worthy of that. That is what life is about. Life wants you to be in your fullest expression of yourself, right? It wants you to explore the universe as your highest state of being. All right? And so let's roll with that. I like it. All right. And awesome. Thank you so much, DB. All right. So much love coming to each and every one of you guys. I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow, and thank you so much for showing up for day 17. And if any of these messages do add value to you, and you know somebody in your life that they could also add some value to, then please do share them. That's such a gift to me, because I love connecting with other incredible souls across the globe just like you. All right, so much love coming your way, and I'll see you tomorrow.